I hope this video finds you progressing towards your goals for the year. This is the Wealth Indicators channel, and today we will be discussing exactly how to compare the returns in your stock portfolios to the returns of a market index. Doing this allows you to see if you are generating alpha relative to specific segments of the stock market. I already did a video on why it is a good idea to periodically do this type of analysis, and you can check it out if you are so inclined. So how do you track your portfolio's performance? The first thing you want to make sure you do is select the correct benchmark to measure your portfolio against. You want to do this because then you will be getting the most accurate representation considering the types of equity securities you hold in your portfolio. So for example, if you have a portfolio with 5 stock positions that include Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Alphabet, and Nvidia, then the most appropriate index to use as a benchmark to measure your account's performance will be the NASDAQ, because all of those stocks are members and major weights of the NASDAQ 100 index. In this example, you could use an index like the NASDAQ directly, or an ETF security like the Qs, which tracks the NASDAQ to measure your performance. But instead, if you hold companies like John Deere, Nike, Whirlpool, BlackRock, and Constellation brands, then you will be better off using an index that holds securities designed to track the S&P 500, because the companies I just mentioned and their peers are the types of stocks that are constituents of the S&P 500. You could also just use the S&P 500 directly. Besides just using the S&P 500 directly as your benchmark, something like the SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust would be another good option to measure your performance. And to actually compare your portfolio's performance once you've chosen the appropriate benchmark, fortunately, some financial institutions already do it for you. For example, Fidelity automatically calculates your account's performance against the major indices for the day, a month, and the year. It also tracks that activity for a 5-year period, and even during the entire time that you have had the portfolio. Keep in mind that some companies, especially the stocks with the largest market caps, are usually included in multiple indices. For example, Apple is a constituent of the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. Also, the results you get from this analysis will not be exact because the positions in your account probably do not duplicate exactly the benchmark you are using to compare your account's performance, but it should give you a useful approximation. And if your brokerage account does not provide automatic tracking relative to the major indices, you can simply look up the performance of your account, which all brokerages do provide through monthly account statements, then look up the performance of the benchmark security you chose and compare the two for different time periods. Your long-term performance will be the most important thing to focus on while doing this analysis, because anyone can outperform the market in the short term, but can you do it over the long term? Meaning over years and decades, because that is what the most respected investors in the market are able to do. Pick up your copy of my book, The Wealth Indicators, on Amazon today. And if you think this information is valuable, like and share this video with anyone you know who would be interested. Leave a comment or question if you have one, and follow the channel for more ways to improve your financial life. May the best of your today be the worst of your tomorrow.